Welcome back to Realty Resource Radio. We have with us the person with over 13 years experience for fixing furnaces and air conditioners throughout Central Ohio, from complete replacements to repairs and checkups. He's the person we hire personally and trust to fix our furnace.
Even our own home.
He is the Central Ohio expert on heating and cooling systems. He is Mr. Mechanical himself, Chad Nulph. Welcome, Chad.
How you doing?
Hey, doing wonderful. You know, one of the things that I've been dying to find out, because I hear all these ads, on the radio about get your furnace, get a checkup done, a maintenance check on it. Are they really worth it? Because I've got to tell you, I am the kind of guy, and I think my wife will back me up on this, who just believes in, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So I would just let it just go until it's dead. But I hear these advertisements that talk about doing maintenance checks. Are they a waste of money, or is it something that people, should consider having done?
We check cleanliness of the unit. That's a big part of it. Also, there's ways to test the components to check for any premature failure or any signs of them failing, stuff like that.
I think we talked about the fuse when you were at our house fixing our furnace. What did you say that you gave me some tips, but I can't remember now.
The low voltage, a lot of times any type of power surge, spike,
right.
something like that.
You know how we lose electricity all the time? A power surge can cause that to happen.
Well, my solution was to keep a bunch of fuses by the furnace.
And that was a good one. So you didn't run to the hardware in the middle of winter.
Yes, in the middle of the night.
It's true.
Walmart, here I come.
Well, and I know the reason that I called Chad in was because we had like all this rust all of a sudden. I went down the basement and I saw this rust underneath the furnace, and I thought, oh, geesh, our house is 14 years old. We're going to have to put a whole new furnace in. And he... all it was the water line, right? Was plugged, a plugged drain line. And so he quickly unplugged it, and I said, so we don't need a new furnace? And he said, absolutely not. This will probably last you another 10 years or more, right?
Correct.
And so it doesn't have to be a scary thing, because I know a lot of people, when they're doing home inspections, home inspectors need to, cover the client, as they should, as well as themselves, but they'll say, oh, it's nearing its life expectancy. And in reality, maybe it's really not nearing its life expectancy, but they're scared of, of maybe getting sued or something if they don't point that out.
Well, sure, that furnace can be a deal buster there, too.
It is. It can be, totally. And I always have a certified HVAC technician clean your furnace.
Yes, we see a lot of that. We have to go in and, more or less do a safety check and, give them a certification that it's in good working order.
What, if you have to get a new furnace, what do you look for in a new furnace? Because I have no clue where to start. If someone tells me, go get a new furnace, I'd be like, I got to call Chad.
Right. Is Lennox better or is a Train better? Or are they the same?
Obviously, I'm partial to Tempstar. I'm a Tempstar dealer.
Okay.
But for the most part, the warranties are the same. The product, the unit itself is pretty much the same across the brands.
They're made the same way.
Exactly. Most of the internal parts are the same. They're just assembled by different manufacturers. The big thing is what do you need out of a furnace? What are the existing issues you had? It might be time to replace it due to age, but what did the other one not do for you?
Like maybe it didn't heat one section of the house properly or something. I know sometimes the kids complain about, oh, my room's cold, or such thing.
And the newer equipment is designed to make up for that.
Is there anything else people should look for? Like, what are some things they can ask themselves? Because I would never think about this.
Well, that's the main thing, is hot and cold spots throughout the house. Make sure it's sized correctly for the house.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Some of the builders don't like to get them quite
the right size for the.
So you're saying that they might put in one when two are needed or something like that?
Correct. They find ways to certify it at a certain tonnage, and then really it should be the next one up.
And speaking of that, like, what do you think about what I see sometimes in homes, a furnace on the upstairs and one in the basement? What's the purpose of that, other than, obviously if the home is very large, I understand
Generally,
that,
if a home is over about 3,500 square feet, we would do that.
Okay.
Or the configuration of it. Like my own personal house, we put an addition on. Just the way the floors are broken up, it just made sense.
Sure.
Because the last thing you want is like in the middle of the summer, your bedroom's the hottest room in the house.
Right.
So if you have a larger home, you're better off to split the floors with multiple systems. That way you get the most comfort.
So if someone's building a home with a builder, that's probably a good thing for them to think about. Ask the builder if it's over 3,500 square feet. Hey, are you going to put a furnace upstairs too? or air conditioning, right? That would be a good
Correct.
a good tool for
There's
builders
a
to
little
offer.
more that factors in, but that's roughly about the square footage we need to start considering multiple systems.
Okay, because I can safely say I've sold a lot of homes over 3,500 square feet and not always seen 2 systems in there.
What about like gas versus electric? Because I know,
Yeah.
there's some people say, I like this better than the other. I like, gotta have gas. Or,
That sounds funny.
or electric on your furnace. What are your thoughts on gas versus electric for a furnace?
Natural gas is the ultimate heat. It's the hottest. Right now, it's really the cheapest. Electric systems are not as hot, so you don't get that nice warm air coming out of the vents. It's a lukewarm air. So in the end, people that are not used to the electric always feel cold. Feels like the house is drafty because you don't have that hot air coming out of the vents.
What about propane?
Propane is outrageously expensive. So,
Okay.
that's a last resort.
Okay.
A lot of people do like the propane over electric because of the quality of the heat, but they pay for that quality.
Of course, I don't see steam
In that
heat
case.
anymore. Not too much.
Well, we're talking a lot about furnaces, but you do air conditioning as well. And who's thinking air conditioning in the winter? And so one of the questions I wanted to ask you is now the time to buy an air conditioner? Because supply and demand, there can't be much demand for air conditioners right now. So if my air conditioner this past summer was performing poorly, is this the time to consider getting an air conditioner? And like what kind of price ranges are you looking at?
Really, it is a better time. Mainly because you're not as busy when the temperatures are down. And if the unit's still working, it's a better time to have it down for a couple of days for replacement.
Right. And the weather's getting cooler, so people are going to need their heat more than they're going to need air conditioning. Just
Correct.
like in the spring, they probably don't need to necessarily. It would be a good time to buy a heater, maybe.
Say you had an average house, $180-some thousand, that would be here in the Central Ohio region. What kind of air conditioner price range would you be looking at? Would you say?
There's a lot of variables there with the exact home we're looking at, but anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000, for a standard system.
And that's just the air conditioner. That's not even like anything else there. You hook that up to the furnace and that blows the air through. Is that how that works?
Correct.
Do you see very many home warranty companies replacing furnaces for people?
No.
They're more about fixing it, right?
Correct. They're a mechanical breakdown company, and generally, if they can repair it, they will. Obviously.
Have you ever replaced one for a home warranty company, though?
Yes. It's very rare, though.
It has to be really broken, huh?
It has to be unrepairable for the most part.
Wow, that's interesting.
Kevin, in the last segment, our expert on waterproofing and mold remediation, mentioned that they've had people that are venting bathrooms up into the attic. And we've had this come up in a house just recently, where the inspector said, these folks are venting into the attic.
Almost.
Is that the kind of thing we can call you about if we've got that?
Yes.
To come solve the problem?
Yes, I see that a lot. I mean, mainly in older houses, they just put it up in the attic and that was it. Then over time, you get the mold situation.
You're doing a lot of work in older houses, because I know you specialize as well in fixing up the older houses. So if someone's flipping a house and they need to furnace work, they could call you to come in and do some of that work as well. What percentage of your business would you say is in that area of the remodeling and the fixing up versus this just going residential and working with people that are already in a house that's
Probably 60 to 70%.
Okay, so that's quite a bit. But that sounds like a great area to be in.
So, Chad, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way is to give us a call.
Oh, what's that number?
The phone number is 614-674-3000.
And of course, you'll be on our website as well. You can go to www.realtyresourceradio.com and there'll be a link for Chad as well on there.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're not going to get it dry. Our product actually literally goes on wet. So it requires that the wall is wet. So it works very uniquely. It's a very interesting product. Maybe one time we'll come on and we'll talk just about that.
Oh,
And that's the waterproofing piece.
Absolutely.
And you're doing that both residential and commercial.
Absolutely. We do that on both sides. Same with the mold.
Wow. So, Kirk, what is the best way for people to reach you?
Well, you can call me directly, 614-905-7076, which is, of course, on your website and mine, which is remedialsolutionsohio.com.
Awesome. Well, you're listening to Greg and Lori Swearingen with Realty Resource Radio. And up next is Kevin Mullins with Advanced Air, and he's going to be talking about the scary subject of radon.